Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. I'm Doug Sassery, and as always, I am joined by...
Rob Mendiola.
That's right. Rob
right.
with this strong voice today. My voice is not quite back yet.
Today you sound like the coma patient.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting your little oxygen hose there and going down the line and coughing into it, and then like as a joke. But now that probably wouldn't have been funny. We're also joined by Courtney Austin today. She's joining us from Nashville, and
Of the Scotty Austin camp.
Yeah, of the Scotty Austin camp.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Second time joining us.
second time when we do these talk around, she's one of our reliable panelists.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice to have.
I think you picked me because you have nobody else. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
He's got nothing.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
You're like,
Yeah.
I need some like white trash on here.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
kidding.
Now see, Courtney's my voice is just coming back. Courtney's getting ready to go to the doctor, where the doctor's going to probably shut her down and not be able to talk for a couple weeks because she had a procedure on her heart, and doing it, they messed up some of her vocal stuff.
Is that public?
Yeah, well, it is now.
Now it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah,
You just broke all kinds of HIPAA laws.
yeah,
there,
that's
man.
right. I'm sorry, but yeah, I have a feeling. I really have a feeling deep inside that that there's probably nothing wrong with her voice, but the doctor's a really good friend of Scotty, and he's like,
okay.
"Look, just tell her for 2 weeks she can't talk."
Yeah.
I'm just
Shut up. Shut up.
causing a little trouble
That-
today.
Hey, there's probably some truth. There's probably some truth behind that one out there.
See, well, what's going on in Nashville? How's the weather up there today?
Actually, it is actually raining today, and it was actually cool for the first time. It's been pretty like hot and steamy. It's like uncomfortable out. Not like Texas by no means. We're not 109 degrees or nothing like that. But I still feel like once you hit that around that 100, it gets to being too much. But I'd say today's like 75 because it
Oh, wow.
rained. It had a really bad storm.
That is very nice.
I'm sitting outside right now, and it feels great.
Nice.
Is that the? Are you sitting outside where the barber equipment is set up?
Yep, that's exactly. Nope, the other side of the house.
That's who shaved the side of my head when I was
Oh, okay. Yeah.
in Nashville. I didn't think I'd have enough time to get back to my stylist before I went to my doctor, and I knew they were going to have to see the side of my head. Yeah, so always something strange going on. No, we're not. I mean, we're in the 90s. We're getting in the 90s, but no big deal. I mean, compared to that.
No, it's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's night and day. I mean, us being around 90 and 92 is us being 12 to 14 degrees difference than it was, just 2+ weeks ago. And we've gotten rain a couple times, and we're thankful.
Scotty was just down there, and he said he was at San Angelo, and he was like, "Man, it's 109 today or some shit." And I was like, "Well, duh,
Damn.
you're like on the Mexico border." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Blame it on the Mexicans.
but yeah, he's. I'm like, damn, dude.
Well, it sounded like you were gurgling into your mic right there, yeah, because you must have lost your signal there for a second. But
Me?
yeah, but you're good now. But we
You were talking
Yeah,
about
I couldn't hear you guys for a second.
you were talking about hot Mexicans or something.
oh, that's
No,
what it
my
was.
God.
No, well, San Angelo.
Oh, my
Yeah, San
God.
Angelo isn't on the border, but it's in hill country. It's like it's not as north as 20 is between
Where
Dallas
is that
and
from San Antonio? Is it north?
it's north because I
Okay.
mean it's like like 20 goes from Dallas to Fort Worth down to Midland and Odessa and El Paso, and 10 goes through San Antonio to El
Yeah.
Paso. Well, this is basically straight north. It's west
Okay.
of Fort Worth.
Okay.
But yeah, they'll retain their heat longer than us because they get less rain anyhow. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I missed that whole trip. They were here in Texas, and Bartlett and Rick Monroe were in they're in Dallas tonight, which I know we're going to push this later on, but they're in Dallas tonight and tomorrow, and I can't do any of it. I had got restricted travel for a couple weeks, but I'll be good to go this weekend, man.
Cool.
But anyhow, we're here today to talk about Halloween. It's October.
It's not October yet, but will be. But by the time we let
By the time this drops,
Yeah.
don't kill my breeze.
I'm sorry,
No, I'm just
killing
kidding.
you,
But
Jack and your jack-o'-lantern.
that's right. Yeah, we're right on the cusp of it this week.
Right on it. Yep.
And you know how I know that? Because I paid my mortgage. It'll be come out of my bank tomorrow.
I got you.
Yeah, so I
Hey, you got a roof over your head one more month.
yeah,
Yep.
that's right. That's right.
You pay it at the end of the
That's what
month.
Scotty always says.
Yeah.
Scotty's always like, man, we paid rent, a house over our head for another month. I'm like, why do you word it like that? You act like we're just out here fucking barely paying shit. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell Laura all the time. It's like, I love you. And then I do still, So yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, I got 1 year anniversary coming up on
Wow.
on Sunday. So
On the first.
on the 1st,
Oh wow.
I'm sending her off, but I am sending her. Well, she and her friend, a friend of hers, they're going to Vegas. This is her first time in Vegas. They're going to go see Motionless in White.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of seeing him here at White Oak, they're going to go see him in Vegas. I paid for the concert tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure the concert tickets were a lot more than the flight was.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you they're expensive, but it's a great experience for her. So she's going to go, and she's not going to get back until about 6:45 on Sunday.
Mm.
And I told her I was going to take a picture and put it on Facebook of me sitting alone with Jack with a cake with just one candle in it and say, "Happy anniversary, man."
While your wife's in
Oh,
Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. Make her guilt her. No,
Yeah, there you go.
I want her to go. Plus, I'll see her that night, so we'll have a nice dinner and all that. But
Cool.
yeah, I have to work the guilt angle like as much as I possibly can. So, but no,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about Halloween on this episode, and everybody does it that has a podcast. They all have an October. There's
Well, then
something
we definitely need to do it.
we definitely have to just get a little scratch into it, and I think that's basically what we have.
That's
today.
what we'll get. A little scratch.
A little scratch into it. I can tell you, growing up, my mom used to make our Halloween costumes. I remember that now, and then we got to be older kids / teen, and I guess I was 8 years old when we moved into a neighborhood where it was mainly my family, and then we got we were
Like your whole family owned the neighborhood?
well, my grandfather Tony Sashery had this big house with columns and all that stuff. His kids all grew up and they were gone. He sold that. It actually sold it to a funeral home. It's still there in existence today, and he was passed through there. No, my grandmother was. He was at the other location. But all the property behind that he owned. So what they did was if they had 17 houses in that neighborhood, 9 or 10 of them were Sashery's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, we'd walk over, and that's how
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is cool.
It was a very safe environment, the trick or treat and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what we always did. And they had one woman across the street from where I lived, and it was a house that my aunt and uncle, before they built their house, lived. They had built this little tiny house, and then they ended up moving like 2 houses down the street. They built a bigger house, but they had a woman, a single woman that lived there, and she had 3 daughters, and apparently they would go and trick or treat or something else elsewhere, and they'd always have a big jack-o'-lantern, a plastic one, with a bunch of candy in it, and they had a little note that said, "Please take one, please take a couple," and then leave the rest. Well, every year, that's exactly where me and a couple of my friends would go there first and play. Okay, dump the jack-o'-lantern into your bag. Yeah, it was always empty. Bad kids, man. But yeah, that's stuff we did. And we went. I guess we went. We went trick or treating. I can't remember how long, but yeah, I don't remember being older teens, but we did it for a while. I mean, but and now I see some big old kids coming by, and I was like, but yeah, we did it for a while. I mean, when we then we would do pranks and stuff on as we got older. Like people would have a jack-o'-lantern and on their porch and lit up. We would always try and run and grab it and toss it in the street and make it explode. I mean, yeah, we were bad kids, man. Yeah, no, we used to do some stupid pranks like that. But Halloween is much on pranks. It is it's All Hallows Eve and all this, but no, that is one thing too. That's why you say it's trick or treat. You know, so, but yeah. So I think we were in a way we were just living up to that tradition.
What about you, Courtney? Did you do a lot of trick or treating?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because my mom had 5 kids, and we grew up in a small town where everybody went trick or treating in this one neighborhood, and it was called Birdland because every street was named off of a bird, and it was actually the poverty area of the whole neighborhood. But it seemed like everybody really went all out for Halloween because they knew that everybody came to that neighborhood, and everybody pretty much in the town nobody was rich. There was a town outside of town about 15 miles where all like the rich kids lived or whatever. But if you were trick-or-treating in this neighborhood, you were probably amongst the poor people. So like there were so many houses that would make little mazes in their front yard or something cool. Like they always try to make it something, and all the kids were just prowling the streets. There was hundreds. I mean, we all trick-or-treated in this neighborhood. Wow. Every house, if you weren't about it, you were like hated in the neighborhood because everybody did it. So if you were the house that didn't do it, people remembered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We took care of that problem too. Yeah. Did y'all have any retaliation methods like eggs or toilet paper? Yeah.
Yeah, my brothers used to do that kind of stuff. I never really partaked in that. But
I can see that definitely.
Even Brandon was like that, but Brandon was more of a little delinquent back in the day. He did his stupid stuff.
There's no way Brandon
and then
did that.
Came back.
Brandon is he's very clean cut. He didn't belong.
He's innocent.
He does not belong in that family. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, whatever.
But no, that's cool. No, that is very good.
It seems like people still do that kind of thing, right?
They do. I mean,
take the kids to the fancier neighborhoods or whatever.
We see it. Yeah, we see it in our neighborhood where they come from across the street.
Yeah,
and they'll do that. They'll do it in golf carts and whatever. I'm fine. I love kids.
What's crazy though is, and I'm not saying it because we live in a nice house, and me and Scotty live great, but I feel like the houses in the neighborhoods that were like not as fancy had the best kinds of candies and snacks. Like sometimes like rich people or like people that have money were like they're stingy. You know what I mean? They're out there just trying to give you like fruit, an apple or some shit because they're not trying to rot your teeth out or whatever.
Penny whistles and hard. They'll give you some hard candy.
Yeah, it's always something stupid.
Drops.
Like so, we always went to the poor neighborhoods when we were younger because that's just how it goes. We had one house at the end of the neighborhood that was like the biggest house. It had to have been like the town mayor or something because there was just one huge house, and they gave out full-size candy bars. They were the only house that did that. Wow. But I feel like even trick-or-treating with my stepson, now we went to a freaking neighborhood last year, and it was supposed to be like a rich neighborhood, and they were all like super stingy because we didn't really live in a neighborhood. So we were just driving down the street, and we whipped into this place like, oh, these are really nice houses, but they were not really giving out anything special. And half the houses didn't even partake in the the festivities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sad, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I just don't get it.
They miss out on the enjoyment of it.
It is a lot of fun. I have to check my calendar to see if I'm going to be in town. which I hope I am, because that is a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
love doing it. I love seeing the kids, and
When we lived in the neighborhood, we would do it. We would sit out in the front, and put out a table and all that, and I would custom paint a large backdrop to put over the garage door
nice.
and all that. So we would put the lights out and stuff. It's fun, watching all the little kids come up and just getting excited about it.
Yeah, I need to. I used to do this, and I'm sure Scotty will eventually do this. There was when your kids go trick or treating. When mine were growing up, there's always the dad text. Well, let me go through that and make sure everything's safe in here.
Yeah,
You get all the Reese's out and
all
here.
the good stuff.
Yeah, here's a special for you. Yeah. Wait,
Oh
what?
yeah.
Our crackle.
Yeah.
Last Halloween, Scotty freaking we took his son and our daughter trick or treating, and I swear one of their trick or treat baskets, because his son goes home to his mom, so we keep all his stuff, and when he comes, he gets to eat and enjoy all of his things at our house. And I could have swore one of the kids' baskets stayed next to Scotty's recliner chair the whole the whole month.
So I bet it did. I bet it did.
He did too. He's like, this is my candy now, because Nova was only 2, so he's like, man, Nova can't even eat this shit. I'm about to eat
Yeah.
all this.
That's right. Poor baby. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was more Graydon too, because Graydon only eats like 3 different candies. So we would pick out all the candy that he eats, and then Scotty was like, it's a free for all now. So he just be munching on freaking candy. I'm like, dude, you're a hot mess. I mean, it'd be like a whole pile of freaking wrappers on the table. I'm
That's
like,
right.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. They have the separate little grocery bag and put it with just nothing but wrappers in it. You end up and yeah. That's
I wish it was that organized, but it was just a pile on the table. So yeah. Usually I would go and sweep it up after he'd go to bed. I'd be like, all right, let me pick up this freaking candy wrappers.
That's what the tooth fairy did it. But yeah.
You think girls or boys like trick or treating more? Like, which one does it longer? You think in ages? The whole dressing
know.
up.
I don't
makeup
know
thing.
either. Yeah, kids love it.
Oh.
Period, man. But
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell the difference. I don't think I would.
Kinda even.
Kids like candy. I feel like that's why you do it. It's an
Yeah.
incentive. Like, you dress up, whether you like it or not. You dress up and you go and get candy by strangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the best thing ever. And you don't get kidnapped. Hopefully
Yeah.
not. So it works out.
yeah, I mean, as long as you you keep those kids safe and close by. And I see, that's one thing I've noticed in my old neighborhood where I lived before, and so I moved out. A bunch of good parents that go out there.
Yeah, it's good to get to know the community as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I try to hand out little 3 1/4 ounce cans while I can too. Oh yeah,
Of cans of
Well,
what?
look at you.
Cans
of
of what?
seasoning.
Oh, seasoning.
Yeah,
okay.
the little packets. Yeah,
I'll be darned. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta-
Always marketing. huh,
Always
Doug?
marketing. That's right. It's not just about the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know on
Selfish.
I know.
Screw those kids. We need revenue.
That's right. Even in the country, like off of on the north side of Houston, and off of 1314, the parents there, and even the older people, they have a hayride every year,
Yeah.
and they do that with the kids, and they have all their little pumpkins, and they go by.
I think that's what we need to start doing out here is just having like a little festival thing because, we haven't had trick-or-treaters since we moved out here.
Oh my God!
So, yeah,
I mean, do you have any kids out here?
very few.
Wow.
This is mostly retirement people,
Yeah.
out here in the country. So, I think Doug's messing with his phone.
I did. I coughed, and that way I think I got it right.
What are you clicking over there?
Mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, Courtney, we didn't lose you with me coughing, did we?
Nope, I'm here.
But
You
hear-
did cut out. I was like, did
Yeah.
they hang up? I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
No.
you don't hear that. I hear it. Okay.
That's right.
Awesome. We're learning
We learn as we go, man.
after 30 plus. Still
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah. We just published our
30th.
30th. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a couple in the can, and we're getting there.
Still going.
That's right. Now, what about
heck yeah.
we talk about Halloween
Movies.
movies or TV shows or even specials,
But not Mowgli.
but not Mowgli. Mowgli from the Jungle Book
Is not scary,
is not scary.
according to Doug.
That's right. Does not count.
All right. If you say so, Doug.
Yes, sir.
What is it, like Friday 13th, the big one, right? And that's Jason, right? And then,
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
then there's
yeah,
what's
they could,
the other one? Halloween.
yeah. I mean, and I was trying to do like the Christmas movies. Kind of watch them during October.
Do you think you should watch those every year, no matter what?
I like the idea of doing that. I never did it as much as until I got older, even with the Christmas. But of course, now we can watch. When we were a kid, you could watch Charlie Brown Halloween once, and you better catch it because there was no recording it and any of that stuff.
yeah.
And now you can watch it, in February if you want to.
Now there's the Freddy Krueger movies. How many of those?
Oh, I don't
there's
know. Seven,
lots,
maybe
right?
7. No, I don't know if there's that many. Maybe I think Jason there was maybe 7 or 8.
Then they got the Freddy versus Jason, right?
Right? They have those too.
Is there more than one of those?
No, just one.
Just one. Okay.
The Freddy movies are the freaking scariest because I don't like scary movies too much. If I'm watching them, maybe through. I mean, I'm an adult and I'm like, man, if the sun's down, I don't know about watching a scary movie. But Freddy Krueger was always the scariest because he was the killer that could kill you in your sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So he
man,
made night terrifying.
as a kid, right? It's like you're a kid and you're like, damn, I don't want to fall asleep. Like I might get killed in my dreams. He was
Yeah.
the scariest one. I thought.
That is pretty
because
scary. Yeah.
That was a yeah.
and all the other movies.
No, I
Sorry.
was just saying that was a that was a very good concept when it came out because we had a lot of Jason. You go through that. You've seen this 100. We had Crazy Ralph on Friday the 13th. He goes, what do you say? Camp Crystal Lake has got a death curse. But the killer in the sleep. Yeah, so it was a new take on it, which was good. But as far as, well, I guess I would start like, we all watch the Halloween, the Charlie Brown and all that. But the one that I like, if we're going to talk about animated for a second, is the Halloween Tree. It was a book and they made it a show, a movie actually, by Ray Bradbury. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. Have y'all seen the Halloween Tree?
No.
It is.
I have not.
It is fantastic. The kids would love it too. And what it is, it tells you the traditions of Halloween, like in Mexico and in Egypt and all these different places on how it's celebrated, like the All Souls tie into it. And it is very good. I thought it was fantastic. So it's a historical take too, but it's a book. Ray Bradbury wrote it, and he's one of my favorite authors of that type. He's passed on, but he's fantastic. And that probably of the animated is my favorite. And I'll try and watch it every year still. And I like the different, it got to be where the slasher stuff just was okay. Like I've never seen Saw. I've never seen any of those movies.
Yeah, I've never watched that either.
I might end up watching.
I have. I like the Saw movies, but only because it's like you have to. It's the people that are the smartest that can read clues. It's kind of like, those escape rooms, but like death or live. So it's these people that are actually like you have to be smart and think outside the box to
To get
try
out of
and
the
get
trap.
yourself out.
Yeah, and Doug's claustrophobic,
Yeah.
so that probably
Yes,
freaks
right.
him
I
out.
will never go in an escape room. That is right.
Yeah.
There.
Your claustrophobia
We
will take
did-
over.
We
It
did
would
an
kill me.
escape room one time, but
Oh, wow.
they're pretty cool. But I think that's kind of the concept of those movies. Is if you're smart enough, you can survive. Usually, you're surviving with like a limb or something because you're chained to a wall and you have to cut your arm off or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's always some crazy off the wall stuff. But
That is
I
off the
will
wall.
say I've watched every single one of those movies because
Wow.
my brother Tyler loved those movies.
No way.
He loved right.
Yeah.
But my favorite animated movie though is The Nightmare Before Christmas, just because
Okay.
That's
It's-
good. That's a
I mean,
fantastic.
I feel like anything Tim Burton and
Yeah,
and
Tim
all
Burton's
that
good.
is is good.
Yeah, I saw the other day they had the three people that was singing the little song when they went into Oogie Boogie's house, and they were he's Mr. Santa Claus when they were time the I forgot who it was that they had that was singing that, but Pee Wee Herman's one of them, and they were singing. It was three people. I forgot who the other two were right now, but I was like, oh, this is really cool. They were singing it at a show, just live, and I was like, wow, that's pretty. Oh, I think the woman was there was one female, and it was the woman from the Home Alone mom. I think it was her, but yeah, I liked all those movies for a while, but they kind of got the slasher stuff just kind of wore on me. I didn't want to see it really anymore. Not that it just bored me almost, but I mean, I loved it at the time, and that's why, but what still gets me today, excuse me, is I love a good story. Like in Stephen King, most of the stuff that they put out to miniseries or movies, I love. But the best one I think the best one I've ever seen, and it's also the best thing Netflix has ever put out. In second place, even close is what I say, is The House on Haunted Hill. It's a 10-point series, 10-part series that they did, and it's a story about. It's kind of like the American Horror Story. The first one was about a house. When you do a story about a house, like Winchester Mansion, or Rose Red, you can make the story can be so rich. It can have so much detail to it, and it's not just simply somebody getting slashed. There's so many tales of time over history of a house like that you can put together, and I think it just makes the story to me.
So slasher films, you're talking like Bates Hotel. Is that?
But I mean Friday the 13th and all that. That's what I mean, all that stuff. And I mean, I liked it.
Halloween's a slasher movie too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like all that stuff still, but
Beetlejuice is not a slasher movie, is it?
No, that's off the beaten path.
Is that a scary movie though?
Yeah, to a certain point. Yeah, it's kind of horror funny.
Comedy. Kind of like a Drop Dead Fred. Was that scary?
I never did see that.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I mean, that's a long time ago, but yeah.
I know, but I don't think I've ever seen. Yeah, that's.
Well, you got something to watch.
That's right.
It's a classic.
But anyhow, The House on Haunted Hill. I would suggest anybody watch it. It's fantastic. Now they use the same actors, kind of like American Horror did, and they did Bly Manor next, and then they did Midnight Mansion or whatever, and it was pretty good. They're both pretty good, but that first one is the gold standard. I loved it. Yeah, Timothy Hutton's in that one, which is, they did a really good job. But yeah.
So, Courtney, do you decorate for Halloween around your house?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say as much as I do like for fall in general, just because I feel like fall is months instead of Halloween being, one day, 1 month, So I usually will do the whole leaves,
And
the
pumpkins.
orange, the autumn colors and all that stuff, but I don't really, partake in jack-o'-lanterns or anything like that.
Yeah.
Scotty was just talking about being more festive this year just because the last 2 years in November we have moved. So
Okay.
we're always packing in October. So we we kind of just didn't partake. And then when we finally got into our new house, we didn't really do too much for Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff. So I think he wants to actually do more this year.
Cool.
But I think it's more worth it and more bang for your buck if you actually just, decorate for the fall.
For fall.
In general. You know what I mean? Like pumpkins and stuff, like you said, because that can be Halloween, but it can also be fall. So crosses over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I built my new house, and I really didn't know too much about this, and then a neighbor of mine put it up, and I said, "Oh, I'm getting this, man." I did it. A lot of them do it on the front. I did it on the front and the back of my house. Is the gemstone lighting, and they have the little lights that on the edge of the baseboard.
So you mean like decorating with lights for Halloween?
But yeah, they have, and it once they install it, I want to say it was a $1,800 to $3,000 job. I think it was $1,800.
Wow.
I think it was $1,800.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there's hundreds of patterns. Every NFL team, and they have multiple for teams, multiple for baseball, college teams. But then you get to the holidays, and I mean, every holiday they have a light pattern. Ones that chase each other, some that just stay. You also have architectural lighting,
So is that
your house
laser
looks.
or
No.
what is it?
It's they go right. What's the board underneath the roof? What's that called?
Soffit?
I've never heard that term before.
I think it's called soffit.
Well, they basically press in right there, and those lights up. You'll never have to go in and change. I think it was an $1,800 job, and they have Gemstone Lighting does it, and I mean there's other companies too, but on Halloween they have God knows how many patterns. They have Star Wars, so you can run anything you want during that. Then November it'll be, Thanksgiving theme, different lights. And then Christmas, they'll probably be. I'll probably run a different pattern every day, with the exception of maybe liking one more than anything else. I'll run it a couple nights, So, yeah, that was a great investment because it also does. Look, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's called soffit, SOFFIT.
Liar. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So yeah, it is. It is very nice. I love it, and I'll.
I need something like that. That seems way easier than having to go out and buy different things for every single
That's what I'm
different
saying.
thing.
Yeah, Rob looked at me when I said the price, and I think it was closer to the 1,800 to 22 maybe.
So that's
But
having it installed though. Can you do it yourself then?
you can, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that
you
might bring
definitely-
the price down.
Yeah, definitely.
I've
but
never
if-
seen that, I don't think.
I had never heard of it until I built this house in 21. But I'll take some video and I'll put it on the
YouTube?
the YouTube page.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Instagram.
yeah,
All right,
it's
cool.
it's fantastic.
You have that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
yeah, I love
Awesome.
it. Yeah, it's because you never ever ever have to go out and change those lights again.
Yeah.
It's like a party celebration, man.
Wow.
Yeah, one and done. Yeah, I would like
That
to.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, I would like to do, but I bought it but never used it. In fact, I gave it to somebody when I moved. The screen that you can put in your window with what I'm talking about? Like it shoots that animated or like shadows or whatever.
Basically like a projection.
Yeah,
type thing?
projection. Yeah, I love to do one of those. I haven't done it. I have a mannequin that I had it from my old house when Macy's was closing in Houston, and I usually put it in the front window, with some kind
So
of.
you could dress it like a witch or something.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
it has a Metallica jersey on and a Tiger LSU Tiger head on it right now. But yeah, that'd be something different to put it. But I would like to do the projector thing. I think that's kind of cool
Yeah.
too. But yeah. What about you, Rob?
What about me?
What about you? Any decorations you gonna put up?
No,
fall?
we're still trying to finish up around here, so we're not doing anything too festive. We have you over every week, so
And that's festive enough.
and that's festive enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I plan to bring it every time.
He comes over and he sprinkles his seasoning everywhere, and then
Yeah.
and he leaves.
Yeah,
Tries to get us to buy more spices.
that's it.
Right.
Got to pay for them college tuitions.
I need
man.
revenue.
Yeah, got to pay for them tuitions.
It's not about the kids.
It's always about the kids. Yeah, no,
No, we'd like to, but we're not there yet. We want to start hosting more stuff out here. We have so much space. It's like, why don't we?
you do have some nice stuff. I tell you what. I tell you what we're going to do at the 307 compound in the spring, huh?
Mm-mm. No.
Oh yeah, they want to do it too. He saw the pictures of what we used to do with crawfish boil, like bands,
Yeah.
and then like we had 550 plus pounds of crawfish, about 200 people.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll play at that.
yeah, you can too.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
'cause
want to.
yeah,
I'll be upset if I don't get invited to that.
yeah. In fact, I would imagine that there will be some a couple decent artists, maybe the national we'll have come in as well.
Okay.
and everybody just come up and lay. Yeah, it'll be nice. We'll probably have a jam session, you know. So,
Yeah.
but
Awesome.
yeah,
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
yeah, we should do that in like a suburbia, like even more crowded. And that's kind of where I'm at now, but we're far outside the city now. But
Yeah.
the friend of mine, a musician from Dallas, had told his bandmates when they're going to play, he goes, "What, aren't the police going to be there?" He said, "No, man, they're there eating, man. They're not going to say anything, you know." So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much my neighbors would appreciate me having a big thing out here, but
Well, the Moores are the Jim and them are going to do it. And they live out,
yeah.
well, you know, where there's a good stretch, and the people around them love the music because their kids play now,
Yeah.
and so yeah, he's got.
Because sound travels a lot out here.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think it does, but anything people are doing, you hear it.
I know,
So
but what about Halloween, man? Anything
are
else?
you going to go into any parties? You got any parties lined up for Halloween?
It's
Courtney, you're not throwing a Halloween party?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Scotty's on the road,
Oh, okay.
not during Halloween, but I mean, it's his one weekend off. So it's like, you know how it is when you're a musician and you're traveling and you're around so many people. It's like when
You're
you get
ready.
home, you want to just like
Yeah,
be with just your people and
Yeah.
just call it a day.
for sure.
So, but he was thinking about doing a big old Thanksgiving thing, just because, you know, like I discussed, it's our first year we're not moving in
Oh, yeah.
November. So
Take
I think we're
advantage
going
of
to
it.
do something like that. But I think Scotty wants to hand out candy this year. So I think me and my sister are going to take the kids trick or treating, and then he can hand out candy. He said he wants to be the house with the full size candy bars and
Oh,
all
cool.
that jazz.
Oh, you
That's
know what?
So
awesome.
he's going to
I'm
sit
driving.
out here. and
I'm
go
driving. I'm driving to Nashville now. I'll put some costume on.
just
like,
for a
wow,
full size candy
look
bar.
at that! Look at that big
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on our end.
Well, that's
You know?
very cool of him.
Yeah, we gotta you know, what about any other suggestions, you know, these.
Man, I told you before we started, I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm the only one that was gonna
I'll
bring.
tell you, I will. You know what? I got something. I will tell you. The scariest thing about Halloween, and I was talking about this the other day because Scotty went to that Texas Chainsaw Massacre house,
Oh, yeah.
in Texas,
I saw that. Yeah.
and we were just talking about how the actual the scariest Halloween movies are the ones that are based off of real stories. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because then you're like, man, there's actually people out there that do really screwed up stuff.
Like
you know what
that
I mean?
could really
The
happen.
fiction things, yeah, like
Yeah.
the fiction stuff's like nothing. You know what I mean? You know, somebody walking with an axe, like, okay, like let's be for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the guy that was out in the freaking middle of nowhere in this house, you know, it's just, I don't know. Those are the creepiest things about
Yeah.
the movies that are based off of real stories,
Kinda
because you're like, man, somebody else could be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like kind of like cool story, like when you have a friend and she's flying into Houston and she says, I'll just get a ride down to Galveston. I'm like, you might not want to do that on that stretch of road. Let me tell you a little bit about what that
Yeah.
what it's
The
called.
killing fields.
The Killing Fields.
Yeah.
Yes, I sent her the link.
and
I sent her the link.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh my God, yeah."
That's real.
you're ridiculous too, because let me just tell you, Rob, what he did is he freaking picked my friend up at another airport and first, because she landed first, and then he was coming to pick me up, and he was like, man, you know, I'm going to tell your friend that all these things didn't start until 2021 or whatever, and like being like really creepy and trying to scare her,
Scare her on
and
the
I
way
get in the
down.
car.
Just have her
Yeah, and then I get in the
jump out of
car,
my
my
car.
friend's just looking at me. She's looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy that I'm in the car with? You know?
No shit.
I have no common sense filter. We'll just let it fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
Well,
like
and then
you,
he
Doug.
did, and then he dropped us off in Galveston, and he was like, yeah, you guys made it alive. I'm like, why would you say that? Like these people are helping us get our bags out of the car. He's like, man, you guys made it alive this time. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like, what?
But that was some
Yeah, you're
serious.
freaking creepy.
Yeah, just being lazy today.
Yeah. But
See, I made it. I made it today.
yeah. Hey, it's always good to know about a town when you go into. Yeah, that was a serious thing when I moved. I moved here in the Houston area in '93, and that rolled on till I think Jessica Kane was the last one.
I mean, it's good to be on guard when you're around this area.
Yeah, it is.
Anywhere, really.
Anywhere, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, that area had a bad reputation. It wasn't just one person, it was multiple that was doing
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, there's a,
That's real scary stuff.
yeah, that is real life
Definitely.
scary stuff. You know, there's
Have you seen the new Beetlejuice?
no,
it
but
out yet?
is it, when does it come out? Is
I
this
don't know.
anytime soon?
I know I've seen something about it, but
Yeah, I don't know when it's coming out. Have you ever seen that, Courtney, the first one?
Yeah, I love Beetlejuice. I actually didn't ever watch it fully for the first time until a few years ago. And I watched it and I was like, oh, wow, that's a really good movie. And then my sister played it the other day because she's been in the Halloween mood. So she played it the other day. So I did see that the new one was going to come out. I'm like, that's got to be pretty good. But sometimes they can ruin shows or movies by remaking them. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much so.
It's like not as good as the original. You know what I mean?
Now, what about, was that Tim Burton as well?
I don't know who did Beetlejuice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it was definitely different. It wasn't like usually you know when Tim Burton is a part of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if it
I
was,
feel
it had to be one of his first. But that might have been Tim Burton. I'm not sure. It's close, but it's very much in his style, you know. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I think just go out and listen to or watch the some of the classics, man. They just never get old.
yeah. Well, look, I'll tell you this too, that to this day, there's only two movies. Well, besides like the House on Haunted Hill, like you can bring some shivered up the spine, but there are two movies out there. The Exorcist and
Yeah.
The Shining.
Now we did watch The Exorcist. Is that the one with the 666 kid? No, that's Damien, right?
Yeah, that's The Omen. Yeah.
Omen. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, we watched that not so long ago.
That was,
That's kind of scary.
yeah. But that one,
Maybe more creepy, right?
I thought Final Chapter was really good on that one. But The Exorcist was, yeah, it's still that and The Shining.
That's
still,
the one where she turns her head.
oh yeah, it
full.
does
Yeah.
pea soup and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
there
green
you
pea
go.
soup. Yeah, that still gives me the heebie-jeebies, man. Yeah, still to this day.
Well, I know one of the best
Yeah, I
songs.
don't like any of the exorcism things.
Yeah, they're out there. One of the best songs was Dawkins' "Dream Warrior" on A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they
yeah,
did do that.
That was
song.
like 80s, right?
God, yeah, that was a long time ago.
86,
yeah.
87.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I would say I would suggest that. I would suggest Winchester House, which is
Yeah, that's a good one. We watched that.
Yeah, and also you can watch Stephen King's Rose Red if you can find it, which is a miniseries, 3 or 4 parts, and it's basically the same story, just a different tell on it, and about the house, about the same house, but not the story's different. And yeah, that was it. That's all I wanted to say. We just wanted to
You
put
got
out,
it out, huh?
yeah, we just wanted to put out some Halloween content
There you go.
for October.
Well, I hope you'll have a good trick or treating, Courtney, with the kids and all that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go out and we'll probably, I don't know if we'll have Graydon just because I don't know, it is Scotty's weekend off, but we're gonna go out and like I said, I think Scotty wants to. He swears up and down he wants to be that house that's got the best candy and all that because we both grew up, not the most fortunate. So now that we live a pretty good life, he's like, man, I want to be that house at the end of the street that you can go and enjoy. So we'll
That's
probably
cool.
walk around, let him do his thing and let him chill and probably just enjoy. Hopefully his son will be here and that's pretty much it. Probably play some video games later on after the trick or treating. That's probably what our plans are going to be.
That's right. We'll be playing the Call of Duty, the zombie mode. That's right.
Man, I just could not do that. I tried.
There's some stuff. Now, look, there's one that they used to originally come out with. It would give me that dizziness, like, if you're playing. But there's a different version of it now where you're playing the Warzone and there's like 150 people. And then, like, one person starts infected. Then it gets one person. You can come back and forth if you get, like, when somebody passes, their little soul leaves a little mark. If you pick up like 2 or 3 of them, you get to come back and join your team. That one did make me dizzy, and it is fantastic. Yeah. But I think it's in like 13 days. We just got Scotty and them, and I just got the download yesterday. But I think we have to wait 13 or 14 days till we can play it. So
I thought it was. I think it said 18. I think it said 18 days. But I'm excited because
Wow.
I used to be a hardcore zombies player. Like I didn't even play multiplayer. Like I was a hardcore zombies player. So I'm excited for it.
Cool.
yeah. So that
I'm gonna stick to playing guitar.
will you do that?
It's only got 6 strings. It can't be that complicated.
Hey, that's impressive. I can't pick up a guitar. So hey, you got to give and take. I feel like
Yep, for sure.
you're good at what you're good at.
Yep, that's how you look at it.
Yeah, I've got
Stick to what you know.
I got to pick up my cello between being out of town and then sick right after.
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I need to get to Auburn Music and play a little cello with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening today. As always, this is the Nonsense Chronicles.
Thanks for joining us, Courtney.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
This is
Thanks.
fun.
Thanks, Court. And we will catch y'all all again soon.
Sweet.